Hello, welcome back to English class. Let's study with your English language teacher.
Sound. Sound has a vital value in life and is capable of affecting our mind easily. One of the most popular devices to which the rhetoricians have often recourse is the play on the sound of words. There are numerous ways to play on sound for the purpose of bringing a happy effect in the ear of a listener. All such ways comprise the figures based on sound. So let's today discuss figures based on sound. There are as many as three most important figures, namely pan, onomatopoeia, and alliteration. First one is pan or paronomasia. What is pan? There is a duplicity of sense under the unity of sound. The pan is based upon the foundation of verbal ambiguity. The same sound here gives rise to different meanings. Thus, in answer to the question, is life worth living? A man may say, that depends on the liver. Now, the term liver has two meanings, completely different. In the first place, it means the person who lives. The other meaning is liver, liver, an organ of the human body. The same sound, liver, liver, then suggests two meanings, completely different, and it is for the hearer to determine which meaning he is to take. This sort of play on sound is called the pan or paronomasia. From Greek para near, para means near, near, and onama a name. In the sentence, the first son is the son of the family. There is a pan on the son and son. The same sound is repeated here, but these are two different words with two different meanings. Similarly, in the sentence, some people are more attentive to their pages. Pages. Pages means boy also, and pages means the pages of books also, and boy servants. Then to the pages leaves of a book. There is a pan on pages, repeated into different senses. The pan, in fact, consists in the use of the same sound to convey different meanings. It has the duplicity of sense under the unity of sound. Of course, the effect is comical and the figure is generally used for jest. Its essential features are there is one word, second one there is the duplicity of sense, and third one is the effect is comical. The pan is a common feature in comic writing as it is fundamentally associated with wit, wit. It has no serious purpose but is sound occasionally used for the purpose of banter, banter. However, it graces one's composition very often by enlivening it with the classes of wit. There are different ways in which this figure is based. First, sometimes a word or expression is used in a sentence to suggest two entirely different meanings. The following is an example of this variety. When a woman loses her husband, she pines for a second. There is a pun upon the two, two, wholly unconnected meanings of the word second. The first meaning is a short time, while the other a second husband. Or second, the same word of expression is used more than once in a sentence in different senses. For example, the will of a living daughter is carved by the will of a dead father. Here, the word will is repeated with two different meanings. First will is testament, and the second will is desire. In a likewise manner, in Julius Caesar also, we heard the common people to just utter the will, we want to hear the will. So these are the means of toying with words. Another expression we can take, not on thy soul, but on thy soul. Here two words soul, different in spelling, different in meaning, but the sound is same. One SOLE means the bottom of a shoe, and SOUL, that is the indwelling spirit of man. And in this connection, I would like to just infer another meaning of SOLE, that is only also. This is the sole example, means this is the only example. Now let's proceed to the second one, that is onomatopoeia. Very important. All three figures are very important. As far as question papers are concerned, questions very often are set on these either pun, onomatopoeia, or alliteration. So that's why it needs a proper discussion also to just delete any sort of confusion. So next one, that is onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? The sound of a word echoes its sense. For example, I heard the water lapping on the crack. One of the most famous line from Alfred Lord Tennyson. This figure used chiefly for the sake of poetic diction. Poetic diction, choice of words and phrases. Understood? This is very important. For critical appreciation, we just recur on this, how the poet has used poetic diction. It is an artifice, ARTIFICE, of language by which sounds are made suggestive of their senses. In the onomatopoeia, the sound of a word is used to echo its sense. The only feature of this figure is that the sound of a word echoes the sense. For example, the murmuring of the innumerable bees, Alfred Lord Tennyson, the murmuring. So, no need to just give the meaning of murmuring. The very sound murmuring gives the sense. Or another example, thou watches the last oozings, OOZINGS, hours by hours, kids. So oozing also, it gives the meaning, oozing of water. Or we can say, and gathering swallows twitter, TWITTER, in the skies, kids. So here also the sound of each of words. Understood? Each word gives its sense also. Let's proceed to the next one, that is alliteration. Very important. The same letter, same syllable, or, my dear students, here or AUR not, so I beg pardon. Or sound is repeated at the beginning of successive or nearly successive words. The best example from Samuel Taylor Coleridge's poem, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. The fair breeze blew, the white foam flew, the Pharaoh followed free. So here the letter B is repeated and letter F is also repeated. That's why I have just shown with the changing the color. B letter with sky blue and F letter is shown with red. Or we can just take more examples from books also, and this is very easy also. When any question is put that find out figures of speech, that time one figure of speech based on alliteration you can write. It means is common alliteration. So the figure is a metrical ornament used chiefly in poetry. The alliteration consists in the repetition of the same letter, syllable, or sound at the beginning of successive or nearly successive words. This is actually the repetition of speech sounds in the sequence of nearby words. The term is usually applied to consonants. This figure is used for the special stylistic effect. Thus, in Gray's line, ruin sees the ruthless king. The letter R is repeated at the beginning of nearly successive words, ruin and ruthless. R is, of course, a consonant. In Scott's famous line, unswept, unhonored, and unsung, the syllable un is repeated at the beginning of the words unwept, unhonored, and unsung. Here, of course, the alliteration is of the vowel sound un. The essential features of the alliterations are the same letter, syllable, or sound is repeated. It is repeated at the beginning of some words. The words are successive or nearly successive. Or we can take another example from Coleridge, alone, alone, all alone, alone on a wide sea. There are alliterations of A and W in successive words. So I think you have got enough benefit. If you have got any sort of benefit out of this video, so please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.